Disagreeing with people is one thing in life, we have to learn to live with that, but it's harder to learn to live with hypocrisy, and that's something that our Labour leaders at the moment specialise in.
The Kremlin's disinformation is a desperate attempt to undermine our democracy. Putin and his mafia state are trying to poison the world with disinformation, division and disorder.
So a major representative of a government that's lied to the people about winter fuel payments, lied to farmers over inheritance tax, and had plenty of misinformation of its own surrounding the Southport stabbings while arresting all the dissenters, one of whom has died in prison, is going to lecture us about misinformation and division. Oh, and talking of division, our own Foreign Secretary wants reparations from us, by the way.
As Caribbean people, we want reparation.
Think you're causing plenty of division by yourself there, Big Dave.
It's failing, and I'm determined that he will continue to fail, and I'm taking action to ensure that he does. I'm directly exposing the Kremlin's mouthpieces and sanctioning those who clumsily try to spread Putin's lies across the world.
Firstly, why do leftists always present themselves as if they're the lead in some gritty 1990s ITV cop drama? Hope Not Hate did this the other day with their documentary. And now it's Lammy's turn. We've just heard the ominous music, and on screen now you can see the jump cuts and flickering screen for added dramatic effect. It's absurd how when he's accusing someone else of propaganda, he's engaging in exactly the same thing himself. But then I suppose this doesn't occur to a leftist given they're always correct, remember, and it doesn't count when they do it because they're moral and good people, unlike you bigots. The most concerning bit is what he mentions at the end of that clip.
Exposing the Kremlin's mouthpieces and sanctioning those who clumsily try to spread Putin's lies across the world.
What Lammy is mooting here is the policing of speech, an area that Labour have got strong form in already, ostensibly under the premise it's all Russian disinformation, but do you think they're going to use that power responsibly? A cynic may say this is just a move to shut down anything that goes against the globalist liberal narrative.
It's my personal mission to constrain the Kremlin and apply relentless pressure against all elements of Russian malign activity.
Oh, good luck with that, Dave. I bet Putin's quaking in his boots over you.
A light on Putin's murky activities and punishing his puppets, we will constrain the Kremlin.
This music like it's a Hollywood blockbuster. David Lammy and the government cannot be serious. But then this is just base propaganda from the Labour Party to feed the liberal masses, and I'm not trying to make out Putin as an angel here either. I know he can be very dangerous, however he's also an experienced and cunning political operator on the global stage. This is why, despite Putin getting some sympathy on the Western right, I am quite wary of him myself. I don't necessarily believe the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But I do understand why there is some sympathy on the right for Putin in the Western world. I'd assume that's because people feel like he does actually care about his country and stand by its interests. I mean, David Lammy is demanding reparations from Britain. Does he represent Britain's interests? And this is the result of liberal left radicalism pushing the Western people too far. They're tired of being told that women can have penises and that immigrants built their countries and so on. But what we're seeing here is a fracture across the Western world, which is not the fault of Russia. It's a split between globalist liberalism and the traditional worldview of the peoples of the West. I have no doubt that Russia may use that fracture to its own advantage and use underhand tactics for its own political gain. Yet that fracture is inherent to the Western world. It's up to us in how we solve it, and it would seem to me that people like Lammy use figures like Putin to try and win that battle. To me, it's not really about Russia. What it's really about is the anti-globalists at home. After all, what sort of pressure can David Lammy pile on Vladimir Putin? We don't have that sort of muscle anymore in the UK. That's why this whole thing seems a bit fishy to me. But do let me know what you think down below, and do consider subscribing to the channel.